So what are we doing today?
Yesterday, if you remember, we were talking about some of the myths or misconceptions people have about relationships and love and all of that, right? So I thought, how about today we bust as many myths around love and relationships and dating as possible? Because in our own journey, we've realized that it's not how people tell us it is supposed to be. It's actually working in a very different way, right? Like दुनिया में हम बहुत ऐसी चीज़ें सुनते हैं कि ऐसे नहीं, रिलेशनशिप में ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए, लेकिन इन प्रैक्टिस वे रियलाइजिंग कि बहुत डिफरेंट है ना? तो उन मिथ्स को बस्ट करने के लिए पहले सम मिथ्स वी हैव रिटन डाउन हियर इन आवर लिटिल पॉट. सो एक एक करके हम वो मिथ खोलते हैं और फिर उस पर बातें करते हैं कि हमारा क्या टेक है, व्हाट इज आवर टेक एंड what is the real misconception, what's the misunderstanding out there, and let's break it.
Sure.
Chalo.
Sounds like a great plan. I'll pick first. The first myth is if they were the one, they would just know what I need.
If they were the one, they would know what I need. So if you were the one, you should know what I need. Oh, so that means like not communicating your needs, even if the relationship feels right, even if it feels like this is the right man for me. But why should I communicate my needs, right?
I should know.
What I need.
Yeah. So it's like the misconception here is, I believe, is that a lot of times we expect mind reading from our partner. I have invested enough into this relationship, or I am, let's say, in the pursuit of investing or building this relationship, so they would just know. And I believe the myth here is no one is a mind reader, guys. No one is. Yes, you can build your chemistry up to a certain level. At the same time, if there is an unmet need, just voice it out. Matlab, what's stopping you to like be vocal about it? And I have learned this from her itself. She has this need of like having flowers, and for most of my life, or just meeting before her, I have hardly purchased flowers. I'll be honest, ever. But she kept voicing it out that this is her need of flowers.
I mean, the need is not flowers. The need is little effort by my partner here and there.
Yeah.
You know, that I was out in the market and I thought of you, so I got you roses.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Thank you for putting it that way.
Yeah.
But the intent here is, as you said, the thoughtfulness is basically, it got into my system because she kept voicing it out.
Yeah.
If this is a need, and if she is only expecting me to like mind read कि अच्छा एक बार बोल दिया कि अरे मेरे को I love flowers, and I did not like do it myself again the second time or the third time, it's okay if she asks. मतलब इसमें कुछ ऐसा नहीं हो गया कि मेरे को कोई बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो गई, and every time I see flowers now, it has become a symbol that I think of her, or I'll find ways to like get flowers. मेरे को पता चल रहा है कि अपने वास में पुराने हो गए flowers, so I'll make sure maybe in a day or two I replace them. And it has only come because you voiced out, right? And a lot of times it happens, right? Do you have an example to share?
Yeah, I would like to go for needs, like the communication of needs, because the myth we talked about is if they knew or if they were the right one, they would know my needs, right? Though flowers and all are still smaller gestures. I would like to go into the more emotional core needs of feeling seen, feeling accepted, feeling heard, feeling loved, and all of that. So, like we were talking about last night as well, that I had a very being a woman, being in this society which goes by the traditional laws right now as well, that when we get married or when we got married, I moved here. I moved to your family. So naturally, my FaceTime with your family is much higher than my FaceTime with my own family because I've moved here and we're in a different city now and things like that. So that means you will also meet your family much more often than you meet my family. Now, being equals in today's world where you and I, not the society, but at least you and I are very gender neutral, gender equal that way, it's a need for me that you make me feel very loved and included when we are having events with your family as well, right? So we could have like this whole room full of your cousins and your family, your siblings and all of that, but in that room also, here and there, are you coming and just like squeezing my hand and letting me know that you're here for me, and I'm included, because as a new member in your family, I'm gonna feel alien initially. Everyone does, I'm sure. right? So that need, I think you are not a mind reader. How would you know?
Only because you have voiced it out.
I've just voiced it out so many times that now you know, and now you naturally do it also more often. And that has made me feel so much more warmth towards your family, towards you, towards everything. I feel included. So the need of feeling included, feeling seen, that was the need. And from like very early on in our relationship, I have known you are the one, right? You have known I'm the one. And yet I have communicated this need so many times. I didn't just sit back and say, oh, since he's the one, he should know, right?
Yeah.
Because that is recipe for conflict. Simple as that. So communicate more, communicate your needs and desires.
So are there any other instances where you see people keeping their needs to themselves, not voicing it out, and then having expectations that hurt them? That hey, this
Yeah,
was very basic. I thought my partner would know this.
many,
You want to
right?
voice out a few?
Absolutely. In the couples that I work with, whether they're dating or married, a very common thing, very simple day to day thing is the need to talk out something. Let's say our conflict resolution languages are very different. Let's say when we have a bad conflict, you want to take space. You want to take 2 hours, 3 hours and not talk, not interact, process, and then come back more calm. But I have the need that no, let's talk it out and then take space, because taking space right after a conflict makes me feel a certain way. So many couples I've seen do not talk about this need, that hey, it's my need to quickly address it, even if it's for 5 minutes, and then maybe wrap it up by saying let's revisit it, right? We're finding that midway. So many couples do not communicate this need with each other, and it causes ripple effects of conflicts, as in like this time and then again and again and again. So they'll always say that, oh, she always runs away when there's a conflict, or he also always runs away, he doesn't talk about difficult things. So yeah, I think it's very important to talk about such things, where at the end of the day, whether it's my love language, my conflict style, my apology language, all of it is coming from my needs, right? My need of a certain thing. So, yeah, communicate your needs, even if they're the one, even if you're madly in love, like we are. I mean, I am. Let's go. Let's pick another one.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's meant to be, it will be. Okay.
So it's like you don't want to put in the work. You're saying if it
If,
is meant to be, it will be. And
okay, that way.
Yeah. What did you think?
I thought that, more like destiny and fate
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
That's what only.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't have a black and white opinion on this. I have a gray opinion on this.
Okay.
Can I
Let's
voice it
hear.
out
Yeah,
first?
yeah,
And then I
yeah.
would love to hear you. So, my gray opinion on this is one, ever since I've met you, even though I was such an atheist, I've started believing in
Ram?
fate, in fate, destiny, and our souls being connected. Because that's how I've been feeling ever since I met you. That my soul has known you for lifetimes, known yours for lifetimes. So then it felt like this was meant to be, right? So from my own life and my own journey is where I picked up that this was meant to be. However, the other part of it, so this was, let's say, the black part or the white part, and the gray, the other side of it is that to make us happen, to make you and I happen in terms of marriage, in terms of being together, blessed by our families, it took a lot of fight, right? I didn't just say that because we're meant to be, I'm just gonna be a
Yeah.
potato and do nothing about it. It was an active fight, right? Active discussions for months, and actively you coming over to my house multiple times and trying to talk to my parents and all of that. So it was, I feel like it was both fate or destiny as well as effort. What do
Yeah,
you think?
that's true.
Thank you. Hmm.
So, as you rightly said, a lot of people also confuse manifestation the same way.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm manifesting love in my life, or
The right partner.
I'm manifesting abundance or prosperity in my
Hmm.
life. And ask yourself, what are you doing about it? Manifestation does not mean that you just only visualize and not put in the work.
Yeah.
Similarly, if it is meant to be, it will be backed by actions. Right? As you said, you cannot be a couch potato. Right? If it is meant to be, it will come to you because you have got some direction. As you said, you felt it in your gut, right? That there is some connection. and then it has to be like rigorous efforts. What I feel is the myth here is that a lot of people, they don't want to put in the work. It's like it will follow. So it's a recipe that you want to procrastinate, you want to be lazy, or you don't want to take the accountability and responsibility of building a relationship. And if the accountability and responsibility is removed from the equation, then it will not sustain. Then it will not be, I believe.
Not just making a relationship work, but even before that, when you're single, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm meant to find the right partner. I'm meant to find
सबके लिए एक लिखा है कोई.
a great love story and all of that. So I'm just gonna sit at home and they'll just drop in my lap.
Yeah.
Then if you see it that way, especially from a single person's perspective, then I challenge my single clients a lot of times that how are you putting yourself out there? What is making you meet your interests, right? Or the genders you're interested in. How are you meeting them? Are you on dating apps? Are you on matrimonial sites? Are you attending mixers or social events or sports events? Where are you meeting these people? How can it be that you just sit at home and someday that person will just knock on your door? This is not a fairy tale. It's not a fairy tale. That person will just fall into your lap.
Yeah. Stop romanticizing love stories like that.
Yeah, even in fairy tales, if you look at Cinderella's story, Cinderella fought against her norm to go to that party where she met Prince Charming, right? So she had to put herself out there. Obviously, her agenda wasn't to find a prince, but that's how it happens, right? That you put yourself out there in situations that are different from your normal, different from your day to day, and then you meet people and you might just strike a chord with somebody. It cannot be just that बैठे हो आप घर पे और Prince Charming आ जाएगा आपको to sweep you away from your feet.
No, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah. So if it's meant to be, it will be if you put in the work.
Absolutely.
Let's complete the sentence.
Yeah. If you put in the work.
Yeah. You go ahead next.
Oh, this is the myth that I used to believe.
Yeah. I'm excited. Which one is it?
Fights mean something's wrong with the relationship.
Oh, personal story. Okay. When we first started living together after marriage, first few months, this man right here used to be like, why are we fighting? Why are we having so many conflicts? I thought we would never have conflicts like other people do. And obviously on the face I was angry, but internally I would laugh. I would be like, wait, what? Do you think we're aliens or not made of the same matter as other people? Like, that's not
the brain matter was different though.
That's not breaking the cycle, right? Like I got where you were coming from. You were coming from the point that, I don't want to repeat the conflicts or repeat the style of conflicts that earlier generations and people around you have had or around me have had. We want to be cycle breakers. We want to do things, change makers.
Apart from that, I was operating from the space that we both are aware. We have been putting in so much work. So what is the need to fight when we can just talk? And thanks to you, I could realize that fights will happen. Fights does not mean toxicity. Fights does not mean that we are moving closer to an end. Fight only means there's
disagreements.
There's misunderstanding, that we are yet to understand each other's languages. And it will take time. What is important here is not the fights, but the conflicts, as in the conflict resolution. How fast do we resolve?
Or what do you do after a conflict, right? Like, where do you reach?
And how fast we are able to listen to each other. And how fast we are able to understand that we are one team rather than you winning or I am winning.
So moving from a you versus me format to a us versus this is the problem.
Yeah.
No matter what the problem is, no matter.
Absolutely.
It could be that, let's say you're not feeling very appreciated, right? And that's the problem. That's what you come complaining about. If I can take it two ways, right? That, oh, I appreciate you so much. You still think I don't appreciate you enough. Why? You're so ungrateful, blah, blah, things like that. So that'll become like a you versus me problem. Or we can see it as a team that, hey, okay, one of us is feeling underappreciated. How can we solve this? What would help you feel more appreciated by me?
A lot of times I feel the language that we choose and our audience is listening, it sounds very idealistic. Right? Everyone is not able to practice this level of communication with so much of clarity. At the same time, confidence as well.
We are not either, 100% of the time.
Yes, we are also work in progress. At the same time, I am seeing it from a perspective, if someone wants to take away something from this podcast, and and induce some of these learnings and takeaways into building their relationship stronger and healthier, from where can they start practicing this? Because I believe when two people are coming together to create a relationship, fights will happen.
Absolutely.
That's unavoidable. So that is, first of all, we are trying to burst this myth, is that fights does not mean that something is wrong. It just means that it needs to be resolved faster.
It just means that it's a relationship.
It's a
Because
relationship.
how can two fully formed adults who are mentally healthy also in a certain, to a certain extent, not fight, not have conflicts, not have disagreements? If a relationship never has disagreements,
It
like
means you are
never.
not giving yourself fully.
No, it also means that one of them is stuck in a people pleasing cycle. That okay, whatever you say, I'm all right, right? Eventually they'll burn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying
What was I saying?
that fights will happen. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, fights will happen. No doubt about it. It's all about understanding how soon we resolve this. What are the tools that we have to resolve? So I was asking you, for everyone who is in a dating phase or are married or are in a relationship, planning to get married soon, how can they work around this, creating this as a strong base? Because fights can happen every other day, every other hour,
Yeah.
and it takes away so much of bandwidth from us, right? Because the intent, if you are angry with me or something is unresolved, neither you will feel happy nor I'll feel happy. It's not that, okay, you are sulking and I am partying and enjoying. It won't happen, right? So what is, okay, we understood that this is a myth and we accept that fights will happen. Does
How
not
to
mean,
fight better.
yeah, it does not mean that the relationship is faulty. It just means that we need to like learn each other's languages, so that when one person is upset, I know what is the language that they want to hear. At the same time, when I am not able to communicate, she should be able to come and ask me, hey, what is it that you are feeling? I know something is off. Maybe I'm not able to address it every time, right? So, as you said, how can we fight better or resolve better?
3 things that have worked for me in our relationship, I would say, and you can add on to that. Obviously, it's coming from all the readings and the workshops and the courses we've done, but I've boiled it down to what works for us. One, explain. Explain yourself, your feelings, your needs from an I perspective. Not you didn't do this, you never do this, all of that. It has taken me time to learn it also. Over time, now I realize and I see myself, I hear myself also, that I've become a more, obviously that would make me feel this way, no? When that happened, I explain it this way. Like I'm explaining it to a 5-year-old. Works wonders. That explain why you're hurt or why you disagree, like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old. One. Second, because you're explaining to a 5-year-old, right? You cannot be like you versus me there. This is a 5-year-old. This is the first time they're learning this concept. Think of it that way, right? This is the first time they're learning this concept, so you cannot be dominating towards them or a certain way, like rude to them or very bad with them behavior wise. So you're going to be polite and kind as well. I know you're hurting, and it's so difficult to be kind and compassionate when you're hurting. But trust me, in my own experience, I've realized even if I'm really hurt, the more I explain it kindly, the better it sits, and the more you don't repeat that mistake. And I've
That's
learned
true.
this from you only. You only have nailed it in my head multiple times, saying that, I get your point, but if you yell at me, you become the villain,
Yeah,
right? So that's something, I don't know if you've noticed, last few months I've started doing that. I'm for bigger things, the bigger issues, I wouldn't yell. I'd be like, that made me feel this way. Or even last night when I asked you, I would love an apology for that because it really hurt me. And it sat so well with you that you were able to apologize, didn't take it on your ego. So the second point is that remove the you versus me thing. When you anyway want to feel better, make it easy for your partner to
Yeah.
show up as well, right? Make it easy for your partner to apologize or to be better. If you create a hostile environment for your partner, they're also not going to want to be better. And the third thing is, it works for me. I try to measure it in terms of how much resentment this thing I will carry in the future. I would want to carry none, right? So then I keep trying to resolve or talk about it until my bucket of resentment is over. So that 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, I am not crying about the same thing
Absolutely.
internally, and it doesn't become a piled up, compounded fight the next time we fight about something. So these three things work really well for me. What about you? What makes you fight better?
So first thing, as you rightly mentioned, is about the reaction versus response thing, right? It's okay. I get it. My actions or my inactions made you feel a certain way, but if you react, it is not letting me understand you. Rather, it is taking drawing me away from you.
Making you defensive.
Yeah, making me defensive, or it's like, okay, I did a mistake, but you are also at fault right now because you are shouting at me, or you are yelling, or you are reacting. So why are you not looking at yourself, only pointing fingers at me, right? Because it's like, हाँ मैंने गलती करी लेकिन तुम भी तो अभी गलती कर रहे हो ना, so that's not the right way. I understand the root and cause effect. Okay, maybe you are feeling hurt and you are reacting because I did something, but that does not allow you to be bad in that moment, right? And I have seen a lot of people reacting rather than communicating their needs. They are reacting over certain things which are at the surface, not even going down on the layers of emotions that maybe they are feeling unseen or unheard or invalidated, or the acceptance needs from a relationship or from a partner. So the first thing is be calm, and as you said, be more kind while explaining yourself. I guess that is the first way when you can genuinely like sit and discuss about it. Because as you rightly said, the intention is not to carry resentments. क्योंकि 2 महीने बाद फिर कोई लड़ाई होगी. क्या आपको इसी चीज को लेके चलना है and you want to keep building on it? मतलब you don't have to make mountains of it. There are enough mountains. Go and climb them. Don't make a mountain of yourself just out of fights and unresolved fights. That's not the intent. The second thing is be patient. ठीक है, मेरे को शायद you had this need कि okay, let's say I'll go back to the same thing, flowers or some family events where you want me to be by your side, or giving you small nudges here and there that hey, I'm by your side. Maybe it has not gone deep down in my DNA yet, because we are also like trying to fine tune our languages with each other. So keep giving positive nudges with kindness and compassion. At the same time, wait, because when it is like about a habit formation or changing my way of looking at relationship or life, because I'm also learning. I was not living with someone before you, so I'm also learning how to like coexist.
Yeah.
Right? So it will also take me some time. The important thing is to check, are you operating from resistance or you are operating from willingness to work on this? If there's no willingness, fights will keep on happening. That is the truth. If there's willingness to work and make this relationship better, then only please continue to listen this podcast. Otherwise, you can go and do something, obviously, right? If there's willingness, then there's an important need to keep going back and keep communicating about your needs. See, the last time we fought about this, and this is one thing that we have always done. I'm telling you honestly, if we fought last night, maybe we addressed a percentage of it, a fraction of it. The next time we are on a road trip, we will revisit that conversation. Because I was also processing it at my own speed, she is processing at her own speed, and then I want to revisit. Hey, I was reflecting on it, and these new thoughts came to my mind. Can I share my side of the story? What made me do that? What I did, or how I perceived your reaction or your response to it. And then another fraction gets resolved, and then another fraction gets resolved. If there is a big fight, maybe you need to address it 4 or 5 times.
Multiple different days.
Different time zones. And if it is a smaller friction thing, then maybe once or twice you can just revisit. And revisiting always helps, because you would know whether the resentment is still there, is one of the partners is holding something, or it is resolved. If it is like, oh, I forgot about it completely, it means
But the other person could be carrying it.
the other person could be carrying it, and if one of the partner has already forgotten it, it's like now they are in a much better space to hold space for the other person. Okay, yeah, I can see things clearly now. The haze has been gone. So I believe these are the few things that we can always practice, and prepare yourself for this, because fights are inevitable. How better,
Absolutely.
how sweet your chemistry is, how smooth your relationship is sailing, some other day miscommunication or
Disagreements
will
will happen.
happen.
Like that's a sign of a healthy relationship,
True.
I think. right? And I love the revisiting point. That's something we do very frequently as well. It's like that's why I keep telling people that treat your relationship sometimes. Treat your relationship like a business. You know how you do those business threat analysis, SWOT analysis, and all of that. At the end of the month, go back and revisit everything that's happened this month or this week. You can do it end of the week also, and then look at the positives, look at the negatives, look at the areas of improvement, look at the strengths, all of that, and then just pivot and just iterate and be better and do better.
Communicate, yeah.
Right, like
Yeah.
you can always. Recently only I came across this content somewhere which was about asking your partner at the end of the week, how could I love you better, how could I have loved you better, and you can give me feedback, and I can practice it instead of taking it on my ego, and instead of taking it, oh but I do so much, right? So yeah, if we can remove the resentment part from it, the ego part from it, conflicts are great. We learn a lot from
Yeah,
conflicts.
that's
We
true.
learn a lot about each other from
Yeah,
conflicts,
that's true.
about ourselves from conflicts. I think it's
I
a
also get to
integral.
level up when she's hurt, she's carrying something, um, some feelings. I also get to level up as a partner and hold more space and change my language. What is it that she wants to hear in that moment? And it's a beautiful journey, I believe.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
keep fighting. No, just kidding. It will happen automatically.
So we've done 3 myths today, and we have 3 more. How about we address the 3 in another video?
Sure.
Make it part 2, because
Yeah.
this is 3 are good enough right now to. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
All right then.
And in case you have something that you want to,
Okay, good.
and in case you have something that you are feeling is a myth or not a myth, is a truth that you have seen in one of the relationship and not in other relationships or around you, in case you have that uncertainty in your head, please write in the comment section. We would love to know, are you facing anything in
That-
particular?
That we can address.
Yeah, would love that.
Yeah.
Thank
All right
you.
then.